I have a 2019 115 horse Mercury that has the easy drain plug to change the oil, and I managed to strip the threads out, so I had to buy a new oil sump. The teardown was a lot more than I was expecting it to be. I searched for how to do it and looked at a lot of videos. There's no real videos that show you how to do this. Using Mercury's easy parts, looking at the diagrams, I kind of figured out how to take it apart. I have it disassembled and decided I should shoot a video on how to put it back together so people can kind of see what all you have to do to get to it. I did it with a boat, with the engine still on the boat. I used a tie-down strap to kind of secure the engine. But as you can see, it's pretty labor intensive. You have to take off the lower unit and the middle housing and the exhaust tube to be able to get to the oil sump. So I'm going to clean stuff up and start putting it back together. So there's the oil sump pan. The reason you have to take the exhaust manifold off is because this bolt's hidden behind it, or this one, and you can't get to it without taking that off. So to get the exhaust tube off, there's 3 5/16 bolts and one 13mm bolt. All the bolts come off pretty hard just because they all have Loctite on them. The reason you have to take the exhaust pipe off is because you can't get to that screw to get the oil pan off. And there's 8 13mm bolts that hold this case on, along with 2 of these bolts, one on each side. That's a 18 and a 19. And then this little bolt here that holds the fuel water separator. I was worried about the weight of the engine, so I carefully put in a tie-down strap and straighten the engine before I took that lower motor mount off. On the other side, there's 2 plastic screws that hold the fuel line on, and then you press the red disconnect button to pull the fuel line out of the way, and I just cut the zip tie off and put a new zip tie on it to get the line off. The most difficult part was trying to get the line back up and slide on through the rubber garment. I ended up using some marine grease. Made the job a lot easier. So I put the plug back in the new pan, fill it with oil, no leaks, thank goodness. Now I need to put the lower cowls back on. There's videos out there that show how to take it off, I didn't want to remove all the rigging and mess with any of the adjustments, so I just did it with the cowling hooked up still, just kind of tied it up out of my way a little bit. You only need to take the 2 bolts out on this side. You don't need to take the whole bracket off to be able to split the lower cowling. And since I had to take the lower unit off, I went ahead and got new gear oil and a water impeller to replace that stuff as well. There's quite a few videos out there on how to take the lower unit off and the lower cowl off, so I didn't really cover that really close. If you didn't know, you have to take this little rubber garment off to be able to take the bolt out that goes to this, because there's a bolt hidden here, and then you take those 4 nuts off and the lower end comes off. And then you got several little screws in the case, one hidden way up in there, so you have to take this piece off to get to it. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, there's several videos out there that cover those 2 steps. I was just kind of trying to make a video how to get to the oil sump itself, because I couldn't find any other videos on how to get to it, and it's quite challenging until you figure out how to do it. So hopefully this helps someone else, because I had no help, but I figured it out eventually. Good luck.